My fellow Americans, I'd like to talk with you today about a subject of paramount concern to every American family, the education of our children. You may have heard the disturbing report this week by the National Commission on Excellence in Education that I created shortly after taking office. Their study reveals that our education system, once the finest in the world, is in a sorry state of disrepair. We're a people who believe that each generation will stand upon the shoulders of the one before it, the accomplishments of each ever greater than the last. Our families immigrated here to make a better life not just for themselves, but for their children and their children's children. Education was not simply another part of American society. It was the key that opened the golden door. Parents who never finished high school scrimp and save so that their children can go to college. Yet today we're told in a tough report card on our commitment that the educational skills of today's students will not match those of their parents. About 13% of our 17-year-olds are functional illiterates, and among minority youth, the rate is closer to 40%. More than two-thirds of our high schoolers can't write a decent essay. Our grade is a stark and uncompromising U for unsatisfactory. We must act now and with energy if we're to avoid failing an entire generation. Let me hasten to point out that America's children are just as smart today as they ever were. But most of them do less than an hour of homework a night. Many have abandoned vocational and college prep courses for general ones. When they graduate from high school, they're prepared for neither work nor higher education. The study indicates the quality of learning in our classrooms has been declining for the last 2 decades, a fact which won't surprise many parents or the students educated during that period. Those were years when the federal presence in education grew and grew. Parental control over local schools shrank. Bureaucracy ballooned until accountability seemed lost. Parents were frustrated and didn't know where to turn. Well, government seemed to forget that education begins in the home, where it's a parental right and responsibility. Both our private and our public schools exist to aid your families in the instruction of your children. For too many years, people here in Washington acted like your family's wishes were only getting in the way. We've seen what that Washington knows best attitude has wrought. Our high standards of literacy and educational diversity have been slipping. Well-intentioned but misguided policymakers have stamped a uniform mediocrity on the rich variety and excellence that had been our heritage. I think most parents agree it's time to change course. We must move education forward again with common sense as our guide. We must put the basics back in the schools and the parents back in charge. The National Commission for Excellence in Education recommends requiring 4 years of English in high school and 3 solid years each of math and science. It suggests more and longer school days, higher goals, and tougher standards for matriculation. Our teachers should be better trained and better paid, and we must no longer make excuses for those who are not qualified to teach. Parents, please demand these and other reforms in your local schools and hold your local officials accountable. Let our parents once again be the rudder that puts American education back on course towards success through excellence. There are things the federal government can and must do to ensure educational excellence, but bigger budgets are not the answer. Federal spending increased 17-fold during the same 20 years that marked such a dramatic decline in quality. We will continue our firm commitment to support the education efforts of state and local governments, but the focus of our agenda is, as it must be, to restore parental choice and influence and to increase competition between schools. We've sent to the Congress a tuition tax credit plan and proposed a voucher system to help low and middle-income families afford the schools of their choice. We've proposed education savings accounts to help families save for college education. We've sent legislation to the Congress that would create block grants for the training of math and science teachers, and another proposal would encourage those teachers to keep abreast of new developments in their fields. We've also begun an effort to honor some of our finest math and science teachers. For the sake of all our children, our country, and our future, we must join together in a national campaign to restore excellence in American education. At home, in school, in state government, and at the federal level, we must make sure we have put our children first and that their education is a top priority. Train up a child in the way he should go, Solomon wrote, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Well, that's the God-given responsibility of each parent and the trust of every child. It is a compact between generations we must be sure to keep. I would like to close with a special challenge to America's students who may think I just want to pile on more homework. Your generation is coming of age in one of the most challenging and exciting times in our history. High technology is revolutionizing our industries, renewing our economy, and promising new hope and opportunity in the years ahead. But you must earn the rewards of the future with plain hard work. The harder you work today, the greater your rewards will be tomorrow. Make sure you get the training and the skills you need to take advantage of the new opportunities ahead. Get a good education. That's the key to success. It will open your mind and give wings to your spirit. There's a dazzling new world waiting for you. My generation only discovered it. But you, by summoning all the faith, effort, and discipline you can muster, can claim it for America. Until next week, thanks for listening, and God bless you.